Hey, it's Nick and Adina, and we are here with another video. Hi,
Hey, honey.
hello,
Yeah,
hello, you.
I know
This is
we
a
are.
different format. We're
Yeah,
normally right beside each other, side by side, and now we're side by side on the Zoom because
yeah.
guess what?
We
You're
quarantined.
Hollywood.
I am not Hollywood, man. You Hollywood if I'm Hollywood.
You
So
are Hollywood.
no, I that is not the case.
So this video is 25 years married.
Mhm.
We celebrated 29-year wedding anniversary. We got married March 25th, 2000. And right now it's not March, it's August.
I know where you get 29 from, honey.
I said, no, it's 29 years together. We've been married 25 years.
Yes, ma'am.
March 25th,
Hmm.
2000 is when we got married.
Hmm.
And 29 years together because in December, in 4 months, we will be together 29 years. So that's
Hmm.
crazy
Yeah,
because we've been together longer than we lived without each other.
yeah.
So we're doing an update on 25
Hmm.
years married and
Yeah,
everything that's going on with us right now.
yeah. We had actually done. We did a 20-year as well. So, and it's amazing that that 20-year one is here on YouTube. So if you want to go back and see that one, my beard is a little darker. Uh, we were in the midst of the
Pandemic.
pandemic. It had just started too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because our anniversary is in March. So that was in March of 2020. So,
Yeah.
uh,
That's when we
very
got
different
our YouTube
times.
channel too. That's when we started our YouTube channel during the pandemic. No, a year before the pandemic. 2019 is when we did it, like Mother's Day.
Yeah,
Because
we
I
started
was
before the
really
pandemic.
pushing for us to do the YouTube channel. So we've had the YouTube channel for like 6 years.
Yeah, that's true. And man, do you want to, honey, talk about like what has happened between 2020 to 2025, or how you want what you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about that?
There has been a lot going on. You talking 5 years. Well, since the 20-year anniversary, we both retired.
Yeah, you did. And that
I
was great.
retired in 2023. You retired 2024.
Hmm.
So we were really working on financial independence and retiring. So that was part of it. I started a podcast, Black Butterfly, Black Pearls, with my friend of over, we've been friends for, gosh, 47 years now.
Wow.
We became friends when I was 6 and she was 5. So
Mm.
I've done a lot of promotion on that podcast. I've done promotion. I've been on Junior from the Steve Harvey Morning Show. I've been on his podcast. I was on NPR.
Hmm.
We've been on national stage as far as this Sunday morning with Jane Pauley. So we were
That's
on that. So we've done a lot as far as just our YouTube channel promotion. Of course, I'm still a published author. Our kids, we went to Europe. So we've done a lot in the last like 5 years.
yeah. Well, we went to Europe, but we went to Europe a month ago.
Yeah, this year, this summer,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, we've done a lot of traveling, and we'll definitely we're gonna soon we're gonna do another video about that trip here because one of the things we've always talked about was how important travel is to us. And so, that trip was the longest trip we had ever been on before.
A
As a matter of
month.
fact, yeah, as a matter of fact, we all did see it. We actually uploaded a short from Spain, where we were doing like kind of a recharge day when we were like at the laundromat there washing clothes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but I think, 25 years. What do you think about? I would have to say that if we just look at it from 20 to 25, many of the things that we did are still the same. I mean, nothing
Yeah.
has changed as far as the way that we try to practice mutual submission, the way that we try to care for each other. I think probably one of the best things that come to mind for me when it comes to 25 years is that you have that body of work with somebody, and what I'm thankful about is like when you just start dating somebody, especially like now, if I was not married and I had started like dating somebody, you have really nothing to draw from.
Yeah.
And so that's the challenge. You have nothing to draw from. And, if I'm sitting up and I'm watching a movie with you and I doze off or you doze off, I'm not concerned that you're thinking like, oh man, I mean, look at him, like, old man falling off to sleep. Like, you was with me when I wasn't old. You was with me when I was young. I met you, we were in our early 20s when we met. So, at this particular point, it's been a long time. And so we can look back and look at the experiences that we had. And, we talk about, the good times and the bad times, but we're thankful because we've had more good times than bad times. And we've
Yeah.
realized that in our relationship, that's just something that we didn't want to do. We've realized that in like those 25 years that we've had to practice humility. There are times when we feel as though um, one of us may have been justified in being right in a situation, but realize that, and you have a saying, do you want to be right or you want to be happy?
Right.
And so sometimes you have to be like, you know what? Even if I feel like I might be right in this one, it might be best for me. It won't be best for us. And so that's one of the things that we've continued to do. We've tried to continue to support each other. And what's really, good for me, or I'm happy that is that, the longer you kind of stay in it, it gets easier. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm never saying that marriage is easy, but it gets easier.
Yeah.
And I think about some of the challenges that we had when we were first married, as far as like trying to figure each other out, trying to figure out the dynamic as husband and wife, then like trying to figure out how to deal with like in-laws. Then as we started to expand our family and then figure out, okay, how do I also be a husband, a wife, then also be a mom and a dad. So a lot of that stuff happens over life, but ultimately at the end of the day, we have a thought that we've never seen anybody get a divorce who didn't stop trying. And so we've always like, hey, you know what? We're not going to stop trying. And so that's really something that I find, I'm grateful for in our relationship.
So what have you learned? And let me just say this couple things. First thing is we talk a lot about day dates. And
Yes.
so from 20 to 25, we actually have a day date tomorrow. And day dates are a little bit easier now that we are both retired.
Mhm.
But now we drop the kids off to school, we go to the gym.
Yeah.
We go to the gym together 5 days a week. And so it's a lot. And then, of
Mhm.
course, you're more into athletics than I am. So you do marathons on the weekends. And I'm just like,
You being very kind calling it a marathon. I do 5Ks.
5Ks. I thought that was a 5K marathon.
Oh no, that's more of just a run walk. I think a marathon starts at like I think a half marathon is 13 miles and a marathon is 26.
Well,
So
that's how
being
much I
very
know.
kind.
Okay.
you
That's how much I
being
know.
you being very kind.
So
Thank you.
so we do day dates, of course. We have one scheduled for tomorrow, which is wonderful. So what have you learned? I know you mentioned in-laws. What have you learned in the 25 years as far as in-laws? What tip would you like to give individuals?
Probably the biggest thing, I have not changed since we got married. And my thing is that whether you love them or don't like them, remember that your mother-in-law and father-in-law is the reason that you got your spouse. And
Yeah.
so whenever you might feel like there's a struggle, which like, man, you know what, this person here, you want to fit away, but like, just remember, no matter what happened, you would not have the person that you decided to marry if it was not for them. And so
Yeah.
I think, if you can kind of look at everything through that filter, it allows you to extend a lot of grace that you might not otherwise extend if you thought about it any other way.
I think for me, as far as in-laws, and this is something I've had to do with my parents, your parents. I When things aren't going well for individuals, and this is anybody in my life, whether it's in-law, whether it's friends, I usually take a break. And when I take a break from individuals, is when I get a chance to focus on our family. And so
Mhm.
it's never a problem focusing on our family, especially if you're being disrespected or something's not working out well, to step back, regroup, and focus on your family. So
Mm,
that's one of the things I have done with everyone. I have
mm,
friends that call me and say, "Hey, you haven't called me, you haven't talked to me." Well, I'm focusing on my family. I'm focusing
mm,
on the people that are here. And it's like we've been together 29 years. We have a 28-year-old.
mm,
We have one child that we've raised, and then we also have a 14-year-old and an 11-year-old who will this month be 15 and 12.
mm,
So we're at different stages in our life, and now that we're retired, we have friends who work. Because they're still in the workforce because we're only in our 50s. Well, somebody's not 50 yet,
mhm. In a
but
few months.
yeah, but we're still fairly, at a decent age to do some things. So those are some things that I would share as far as in-laws and how to deal with them. And I mean, I really think now that we've been in it for 25 years, married, 29 together, I think people just know how we operate and
Mm.
know that we're going to do what's in our best interest and what's best for us.
Okay, so to the young couple who might be out there saying, you know what, we've been married for a whole year, and we still, we still get on each other's nerves. We still argue sometimes. Um, what advice would you give them? They've been married a whole year,
A whole year.
a whole year.
I think with us, and we've done this, we haven't done this in a while, but there were so many things at the beginning that you would do. I would fall in love with you all over again.
Mm,
So I would look for the thing to help you fall in love with your spouse. Learn new things, do things different with them, get different hobbies and enjoy each other. I mean, when we first got together, we did the saving, but we weren't in Camp FI like you are now. We
mm,
weren't involved with, financial independence like you are now. So it's just different things you have to support your spouse in.
mm,
So that's what I would say. Continue to learn your spouse, continue to grow with your spouse, and continue to do, things with your
mm.
spouse.
You said that we haven't done what in a while? I haven't done nothing to make you fall in love with me again. Is that what you say?
Yes.
Oh man, so you saying I got to step my game up?
I'm not saying that because you already got national, people telling you nationally you got to step your game up. But I mean, I haven't done anything to make you fall in love with me either. We're kind of like, I mean, we just came back from Europe like a couple
Uh-huh.
weeks ago. So we're just, I mean, that was one thing that was beautiful we did as a family.
Mhm.
So it's just, I don't think it's ho hum or, every day the same thing. I think we
Mhm.
find something new, but no.
Okay, well, I'm gonna try to do better then, I guess. That's why we're in separate places right now because I'm in timeout because I need to do better. So.
Not true. Don't say that because people are gonna believe you. People are gonna
Yeah.
believe you.
No, the
They're
reason we're
like, he needs to step up.
yeah, he's in the doghouse. No, the reason why we're here is that so, and I'll say this, part of the reason, like toward the tail end of, me working, I was so kind of heads down. I had to like really focus on like, okay, trying to get some stuff knocked out because I wanted to retire last year. And so what happened is that, I had to find time where I could. And unfortunately, we weren't able to record as much as possible. And so what happened is that once we got done with that, now that, okay, I was like, I want to redo our recording studio. And so what happened is like, I kind of changed up what I did. And then we like had extra room in the house and we like kind of like start cleaning it out. And I got caught up doing other stuff. And I never like finished that media room that I was trying to do. And so what happened is like we kept finding like now it's like, okay, well, we don't have a place. We don't have a place. I was like, well, and then it just got to the point where we both said, okay, well, even if we got to jump on Zoom in separate rooms of the house, we're gonna go ahead and get on there because we want to continue to get our message out. And so this is what it is. Even though it would have been nice to say that, someplace and she is someplace else, some tropical destination. We in the same house. Matter of
Yeah,
fact, we
well, I mean, you have your studio because you do your videos, and I have my podcast, Black
mhm,
Butterfly, Black Pearl. So I do my videos, and when I'm on other people's podcasts, I record from here, and you
mhm,
record Everyday Money Heroes from there. So we have
yeah,
separate spaces that we record, so it just works out.
yeah, that's true. But we will at some point be reunited, and it will feel so good. when we do it. So,
So
well,
funny.
yeah, thank you. I'm trying to make you fall in love with me again. So, clearly, I done gave you 29 years, so I need to step my game up. So I gave you my hair.
You gave me
Um,
your hair.
yeah,
It
I
looks
had
good
hair.
on your hair looks good on me. Thank you.
There you go. That's that yaki. That's that yaki I gave you. So that's it. So,
No,
um,
I think it's a beautiful thing to I think we just have a good time. We have so much fun together. I know this summer we went to amusement parks. That's something we've always done.
mhm.
So I think it's just a beautiful thing how you can have someone who is, because everybody wants to be loved, but you have someone who has been there through the test of time. And so I think that's a beautiful thing.
It is. And I thank you for it, ma'am. That's for sure. So I think probably in closing, as far as okay, when we say okay, we've been married for 25 years, um, we talked about, what advice, what can we say to that young couple who after a year is saying, I don't understand because we are still, having disagreements. I'm still getting, that person's still getting on my nerves. Just understand that, we are married 25, together 29. We still have rare occasions where I may do something and you may do something that, I need to get on my nerves a little bit. It don't happen all the time, but it happens sometimes. But the
Yeah,
thing
no.
is that the hallmark is that you got to understand that, the hallmark of healthy couples is not that they don't have conflict, it's how they handle and deal with that conflict. And so just making sure that, if you feel a particular way, figure out how to articulate those feelings and share them in a non-combative way. And that's really what it is. And understanding still that you have to be vulnerable, that have to be transparent. But that's what has to happen because, to be loved, you have to be open. You can't be closed off. So to also receive healing, you have to be open. You can't be closed off. So just understand that, that's something that you really need to do to really have the relationship that you like to have.
When was the last time we had a disagreement?
Uh, so when you say disagreement, go ahead. What
I
you think?
was it yesterday while we were walking, or was that today while we were walking?
No. Now, sometimes I disagree with the way that you handle stuff sometimes, but it's not necessarily a disagreement with me.
Oh, even today when we were at Publix, we had a bit of a
No,
disagreement.
it wasn't a disagreement. I didn't understand. Okay, so we had made a purchase,
Yes.
and I went back into the store to get something. Dina asked me to go get something else. So she pushed the buggy out to the car to get the stuff. I was like, I'll run back and get it. And so I could not necessarily find what she wanted me to get. So she said, okay, I'll come back in. So she came back in, and what does she do? Now, granted, we had purchased some popsicles. Adina decided to quench her thirst with a popsicle. That's fine, but she runs into the Publix eating the popsicle. I'm like, baby, what are you doing? They go,
Popsicle melt. And while it's in the car, I'm not leaving my popsicle in the car to melt. Those people had just saw me in that store. In fact, the young lady who I went to the checkout to, I had just threw my sales paper. I said I threw it at her, but I dropped my sales paper. She picked it up. And so when I came back, I was joking. I'm like, I'm not going to throw anything at you this time. And
mm-hmm.
so her and the guy were cracking up. They knew I had just spent, what, $50 in the store. And then you're like, they're going to think you
You
open that
stole that
popsicle here.
popsicle.
And I'm
Exactly.
like, personally, I paid for this popsicle. I have my receipt. I don't care what anybody thinks.
Yeah, that's because I'm a rule follower, ma'am, and you
Yeah.
tend to you
I bend
footloose
the
and fancy
rules.
free.
Yes.
You
I
footloose and
bend
fancy free.
yes.
So that's what I do.
So
So
and
so
then so it was just a lot going on in the store today, which is why we kind of don't go to the store together. But I was
yeah,
just like, I don't care what they think because I have a receipt for this. And so I've already paid
yeah.
for it. I'm gonna come in and get my other additional purchase. And
Mhm.
people saw me go through. So it's like, oh well.
Yeah, so even I don't really classify that as us having a disagreement. I just didn't necessarily understand. I was like, cause me, I'm like, people don't think that, cause some people they'll go there. I've seen people popping grapes and eating grapes in the store and opening up sodas, drinking them, and going up to the cafe register like, yeah, I need to pay for this. So I'm like, I don't want nobody thinking that stuff about us. So that's why I was like, what are you doing? You trying to get security on us? So, and I just try not to have no problems. Part and I want everybody out there to know one of the things that Dina loves and hates is that I'm so responsible. She says all the time, she's like, why are you so responsible? I'm like, I'm responsible and it allows us to be able to retire early. But at the same time, I'm very responsible. So I'm like, it says the door says to go in that way and out that way. So I'm going in that way. That's just what I do. Cause
And
I
we
don't
just do it opposite.
I don't want no
But
conflict.
that's the perfect segue that you don't have to do everything the same way, and you're not going to agree. You said the thing about you didn't want them to think I opened it and was eating a popsicle there, and I said nothing because I could care less what they think.
Yeah, I
So
know.
that's why it's like you don't have to fight about every little thing. And there was no more discussion about it. I was like,
I didn't say nothing else. I just got my phone ready so I could videotape it
when I had to deal with
when
somebody,
when the police is like code 59 on in the freezer section. There you go. I didn't
as much money as I spent in that store, I wish they would.
there you go. So that's for sure. But I think this brings us to a closure here, honey, on our video in regards to 25 years. In closing, I want to thank you for 25 years, honey. And I pray that we get 25 plus more. And for those of you who may have not subscribed, I would ask that you would subscribe to Relationship Coaching with Nick and Adina. Also, I will link our other platforms down in the comment section as far as Black Bluefy, Black Pearls, and Everyday Money Heroes. And as always, take care of yourself and keep loving one another.